if it's above all other things, including safety and freedom from terrorism, is not where we want to go. No, they absolutely don't want to go to privacy. Go back and look at, since we're talking about consolidating the three different trade blocs of North America, Europe, and Asia, go back and look at the origins of all this. And that's what we're going to do in the next segment. Of course, Zbigniew Brzezinski was the first director of the Trilateral Commission, another group like the Bilderberg Commission. It was based, his selection of this group that was founded by David Rockefeller was based on the book that he wrote, Between Two Ages. We're going to talk about how important it is to these people to know everything about you. Co-hosting with me today is Alex Jones. He's going to be breaking down the Trans-Pacific Partnership for you in just a moment. But we're going to go back, before we go back to Alex, we're going to talk a little bit more about the history of the Bilderberg Group, because all these different organizations are now converging. It's very easy to see the grand plan now, even though the vast majority of the public is not paying any attention. That's why it's so important to have this information war. That's why it's so important for you to wake up others, to help to educate them. We see the incredible apathy. At the very bottom of this, what this really is a brave new world, as I pointed out at the beginning. It's really about the majority of people not knowing, not caring about the Bilderberg Group, not caring about the TPP, not caring about the TTIP, or any of these partnerships or agreements that are creating a global governance. Their eyes just glaze over. They can't be bothered. Where does this all come from? It really is a brave new world at the very bottom. Of course, the people who do pay attention, they will get the iron fist of 1984. They will get the Orwellian treatment. But for most of the people, it really is about brave new world. Think about this summation of the brave new world that one party put out there. It's a system, they said, of social rewards for promiscuity and lack of commitment. Does that describe us today in America, in the West? The social media that you see out there, the television, the music videos, the movies that you watch, doesn't that summarize that? A system of social rewards for promiscuity and lack of commitment. In other words, unlimited sex and hedonism, but no family. Because remember, in Brave New World, they took away reproductive ability. That was handled by the state. They would dumb down some, and they would enhance others, but they kept control of that. The same thing is essentially a retelling with a technological spin of Plato's Republic. We saw this last week in that particular story that was up at InfoWars about the school, the Gaia Democratic School in Minnesota, that took these children to a pornography shop. And if you look at this, when I looked at that study, that story rather, I looked at it and I said, well, why are the parents surprised that this would happen? Because it's all laid out there. If you go to their site and you look at what the way they talk about what they're doing there, they talk about their philosophy, they talk about what Gaia means, and they are consciously referencing back to this pantheism, this paganism, this Gaia hypothesis that was put forth by James Lovelock. I remember when I took my family, it was 2001, we went to the UK and came across this in so many different ways. Everybody was talking about Gaia at the time. I found it on magazines that were sitting on the train. We went to the Children's Museum, and as the kids were looking at things, we went up to the third floor. That was a play area, and they had this tape loop that was going there that was explaining Gaia to everyone. And essentially what it is it's an idea that the Earth is a living organism, an entity, a conscious single thing, like an individual. Humans are a virus. Humans need to be wiped out. So it's not only a kind of pantheism where God is in everything, but it's also an anti-human eugenics type of approach, kind of like the Georgia Guidestones. It also has that flavor to it. But you look at the faculty there, and you see that you've got people who are practicing witchcraft. You look at their summer program, and they've got a witch and wizard camp. Learn real magic and develop your skills in the magical arts. They've got people who are teaching there that are heavily into, as they put it, gender, women, and sexuality studies. That's where their degrees are. You've got the lady who was the teacher who took them to the adult bookstore there She has a women's study certificate from a community college. She is an HIV coordinator for a GLBTQ, that's gay, lesbian, bisexual, transsexual, queer youth drop. Now, when you look at this and you say, this is the principle of the school, when you look at Gaia and you look at this pagan, anti-human philosophy that underlines what they're doing there, why would you be surprised when they take your children to a adult sex toy store as part of a field trip? One of the children was just 11 years old. And of course, she excuses that by saying, well, they're going through physical changes at that point in time. They are not ready to handle it mentally. That's the issue. That's why we have laws against pedophilia. That's why we don't do that sort of thing. Nevertheless, you've got in a very small school, it's a private school, they only have 25 students, you've got 9 families who are calling for her resignation. They're furious that she would do this without their permission. And yet you kind of have to ask, why didn't they research what was going on at the school? Let's not get smug about this. Let's ask, why don't we do the research as parents about what's going on where our children are being taught? Have you looked at the background of the people and the information that they're being taught in your school? Where your children are going? Are you familiar with Common Core? Do you understand the basis of these schools that fall back on Thomas Dewey's philosophy? Look at B.F. Skinner's philosophy. Do you really understand this kind of psychological manipulation that they're conducting on your children? Because it quite frankly is a brave new school. That is the environment. What's interesting about the Gaia Democratic School is that they're so out front about it. They're unabashedly candid about what they're doing there, whereas it's typically hidden at the other schools. Pay attention to what's going on with your children. You need to understand what they're being taught. You need to understand how the school is defining an education. Many parents question, why can't Johnny read? That was the question. Well, that was never the intention of the government school. If you go back and look at Dewey, if you go back and look at B.F. Skinner, that was not the intention. It was not, its purpose was not to educate your child. Its purpose was not to give your child tools where they could become productive, independent thinkers. They didn't want to give them a liberal education in the terms of someone who is able to liberate themselves and think independently. They wanted them to be dumbed down, the deliberate dumbing down of America. Again, that's a book that we sell at Infowars.com. Charlotte Iserby pointed that out a long time ago during the Reagan administration with the new Department of Education. She was brought in as an educator, and she realized what the agenda was on the Department of Education. Of course, that had just been created by Jimmy Carter. It was less than 4 years old when Ronald Reagan became president. He ran, one of the things when he was running was that he would shut down the Department of Education because the federal government should not be involved in education. This is something that should be handled at the local level at the very most, but it has to have parental involvements. But when she took a look at this, she understood, and she wrote a book about it with Phyllis Schlafly talking about the deliberate dumbing down of America. That was the purpose. A brave new world through brave new schools. That's the way they get this. Now, with people not paying any attention, with everything being kept secret, they have, over a period of decades, been able to pull their plan together. It's easy to see it now in the final stages. That's why it's easier for you to explain this to people who haven't been paying attention. You can now look in retrospect and see how this has worked out with the European Union, with the North American Union. And again, remember, it was less than a year ago that David Petraeus, who's gone to the last 2 Bilderberg groups, he'll probably be at this one this year as well. David Petraeus said, well, what comes after America? That's easy, North America. He said, we're 20 years into the North American Union. They understand what this is about. They created Northcom in 2002. What does Northcom have jurisdiction over? Well, it has jurisdiction over the North American Union. It has jurisdiction over Canada, America, Mexico. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. We're going to go back and look at these documents that we reported on 6 years ago about what was happening at Bilderberg. And then we're going to talk about how that's reflected in the current Trans-Pacific, Transatlantic partnerships, and the fast-tracked agreement that subverts our Constitution. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Co-hosting with me is Alex Jones. He's going to be breaking down the Trans-Pacific Partnership in a later segment. Right now, I want to go back into the history of Bilderberg. And, of course, we have our reporters on their way there now. We have Rob Dew and Josh Owens just filed a report. You can see that up on InfoWars from the airport, talking about where they're going and engaging people there at the airport, asking them if they know anything about Bilderberg, if they know anything about TPP, if they care. And, of course, the problem is people don't care. It's the apathy that is killing us. That's why it's an information war. Now, of course, if you want to support us, we could certainly use your financial support, but you could also support your health with Survival Shield X2. We have a sale going on right now, and it looks like it's going to sell out today. It's been moving very quickly. Likely this will be the end of it today. It looks like it might sell out. It's $10 off the usual price. It is now just $29.95 for a bottle. A few drops of this gives you a powerful dose of a key essential nutrient, iodine. And, of course, it's in a great form, nascent iodine. And this particular nascent iodine that we have comes from thousands of feet beneath the earth. We run radioactive tests on it before we accept it to make sure that it is pure, raw iodine and is not contaminated with anything else. Again, it's time to get prepared with Survival Shield X2 from InfoWars Life. You can find that at InfoWarsLife.com. It is $10 off per bottle, and they expect that to sell out today. Now, as I'd mentioned at the top of the hour, we have an FBI official who came out this last week and said, we're going to essentially stop encryption. It's what they really want to do. Let's just be honest about it. They don't want anybody to have any secrets from them. He said privacy, if it's above all other things like safety and freedom from terrorism, freedom, he gets the freedom in there, right? Is not where we want to go. In other words, he doesn't want to go to privacy. You need to understand that if they take away your freedom in this trade-off, they'd like to tell you, there's a trade-off between security and liberty. No, there isn't any trade-off. If you give up your liberty, you become a slave by degree. Slaves are never secure. And if you want to go into maximum security, you know where you get that? In a prison. But that's the deal that they're giving you right now. And that's what they want to sell you above all else. That's what he says. They want to prevent encryption above all else. They want to prevent your privacy above all else. They want to know everything about you while they do everything in secret. That's what this is all about. We saw this a long time ago in Zbigniew Brzezinski when he talked about, in his book, Between the Two Ages. He talked about a technotronic era. And he said the technotronic era is going to involve the gradual appearance of a more controlled society. Such a society would be dominated by an elite that is unrestrained by traditional values. Soon it will be possible to assert almost continuous surveillance over every citizen and maintain up-to-date, complete files containing even the most personal information about the citizen. This was written in 1970. This was 45 years ago, he said this. That day is now. It's not coming soon. Now they can assert continuous surveillance over every citizen and maintain complete up-to-date files on the most personal information about the citizen. And they want to make sure that that stays that way. And then he finishes up with this from 45 years ago. He said, these files will be subject to instantaneous retrieval by the authorities. That's what the FBI is demanding. Now, he also said something else that was interesting 45 years ago in his book, Between the Two Ages. And again, Zbigniew Brzezinski, if you don't remember, he was essentially the guy that ran the Carter White House. Carter was his man. He picked Carter. Carter was one of the founding members of the Trilateral Commission. Trilateral Commission is another one of these groups, like the Bilderberg Group. It was created in 1973, 3 years after this book that he wrote. That brought him to the attention of David Rockefeller, who created the organization. And again, one of the founders of that organization, or the first founding members of that organization, was Jimmy Carter. He was handpicked and by Zbigniew Brzezinski, and then he became the little public face of the Brzezinski administration, which is what we ought to call it, just as Nixon was the face of the Kissinger administration that followed it. He says, today we are, now this is going back to what Brzezinski wrote 45 years ago in this book, before the Trilateral Commission. He said, today we are witnessing the emergence of transnational elites. This was 45 years ago. He said, whose ties cut across national boundaries. It is likely that before long, the social elites of most of the more advanced countries will be highly internationalist or globalist in their spirit and outlook. The nation state is gradually yielding its sovereignty. Further progress will require greater American sacrifices. It's going to come out of America. We're the ones who are going to be taken down.